You know how you always have those great ideas in the shower, walking, or when you're trying to fall asleep, but you always let them slip away and can never really think of what you were thinking of earlier? Well, you can fix that with one simple solution: a pocket journal. It's a portable little journal that you carry around everywhere. Well, maybe not in the shower, but everywhere else. So to help you capture more ideas, reduce your writer's block, and be able to flow creatively better without as many roadblocks, let's talk about how you can use a pocket journal to help you. This little journal can be your idea generation machine and organize all your thoughts. That way that you get mental clarity, you could overcome some procrastination, defeat writer's block, and so much more. So let's just start with a brief overview of the benefits of a pocket journal. Having a pocket journal on you at all times allows you to capture thoughts, ideas, and memories, etc. throughout your day whenever they come to your brain. So, for example, if you have this really great thought for a short story, you could take out your pocket journal, quickly open it, and then jot that down instantly. It's that simple. And the same goes with if you remember that you have this task to do, like, oh my god, I have to send this email to somebody to make sure they edit this, or to get the publishers, whatever. This can be very diverse depending on where you are and what you're doing, but if you just have that spontaneous thought of a memory that you need to do something, then you can write that down too, which all of this just brings enhanced memory and increases your mental clarity, because you don't have to think and be overwhelmed by all that's consuming your brain with this modern era, how that much there's so much input that you are just so overwhelmed. Having the journal can help you reduce that stress and feel more free, which in turn should allow you to think of more ideas, write better, etc. Like I mentioned, once you get into the consistent flow of pushing out your subconscious ideas on the page, that way you don't have to remember as much and you're not as overwhelmed, you start to feel more clarity in your life and work in general. And this can bring you so much more peace, and then that peace and extra time that you have because you're not stressed and overwhelmed can bring you into a state where you're able to think more creatively, which is usually the end goal of what we want as a writer. We want to have ideas flow out of our brains very easily. That way we can produce manuscripts and stuff without much of a thought. Okay, so now we got all the benefits of the pocket journal down. But how do you use this pocket journal? If you're not one who is really deep into the journaling world like I am, you're probably very lost and are just going to look at this thing and be overwhelmed with countless ways you can organize it. So I'm going to share with you my special way of organizing it, which is a subsect of the broader term bullet journaling. Bullet journaling is when, instead of writing in long paragraphs like you would typically expect in a journal, where it's like, today I went skating and I very much enjoyed the activity, etc. Like, instead of that, bullet journaling is where you open up your book and then you write down a bullet of a thought, idea, action, whatsoever. So, for example, one thing is that I wrote down is that I have a bias to do things out of FOMO. I just realized that at one moment, and I figured this was important enough to write down, so I wrote it, and then later on I could always establish that more, etc. But this can also very much apply to writing. So I do this all the time, where if I think an amazing idea, I just put it down. Or even if that idea is mediocre, any idea is good, because it helps me overcome writer's block later and limit the amount of times where I'm just staring at a blank page. So the bullet journaling system that I use primarily involves bullets and actions. So whenever I have a thought or a memory that pops up and it's just unique and it's an idea, not really an action to do, but just more of a thought / idea, I would write that with a bullet point. I go bullet point, then insert idea. Now, the second main type of things that I would write in the journal would be actions. So if I think of something that I need to do, like, oh crap, this writing is due in 2 weeks, or I need to finish this chapter in a week, or I need to send an email to my publisher, whatever it is, you would write that with a little square by it, and then as I go through the task, I could check that off, cross it, whatever. And so those are the main two keys that I use in the bullet journal. Sometimes I will use more where I have like a certain page just designated for a giant master list of things I need to do, or like a little monthly log, like this is how my month is going to be planned out, but it's all short and concise and mainly bullets and actions. It's the primary thing. So when you get this journal, instead of being overwhelmed by all the possibilities of what you could do with it, I would just recommend starting with putting your thoughts and ideas down as bullets, and then the to-dos/actions that you need to do as little squares. And if you're interested in the whole bullet journaling process, I'm going to link something up here. The video is amazing, and you could explore so many different things out of that if you just have a basic understanding of bullet journaling. But there is an issue with bullet journaling. If you write things down and then never look at it, what's the point of writing it down? So you have to have time to review what you wrote down. And there's some usually great times to do this. For me, I like doing it on Sunday when I do a weekly reset. I also review the journal whenever I'm about to start writing. I always review my pocket journal before I start writing whatever I need to, because it's full of great ideas. I'm constantly thinking of new things throughout the day, especially when I'm bored and those like 2 to 5 minute breaks I have throughout the day. And I'll always jot down ideas, and instead of me having to think for 30 minutes or something about what should I be writing about, I could just look in here and then boom, I instantly find something that's funny or interesting to write about. But you have to review it. So I would recommend, if you use a calendar or alarm system, whatever, you set certain times throughout the week to review this, because I think everyone who is using the pocket journal, which I highly recommend anyway, should be reviewing it at least once a week. Because if you're not reviewing it, then what are you taking away from it? Like, you need to review it. That is very important. So now that you understand that you should be reviewing it, what should you do when you're reviewing it? Like, I mean, I guess you search through and you find a good idea and that's it. But if you're any bit like me, you want to systemize this whole process. So here are 2 little things that have helped me when I review it, and these 2 little things will help you migrate what you have in the journal to put them on the page. The first thing is what I like to call gold mining, which is when I go through the pocket journal with a highlighter. I highlight anything that's a great idea that I still believe would work to this day. Like, maybe it was good when I thought of it, and then looking back I'm like, yeah, this isn't really a good idea. But I go through the whole journal and I highlight whatever I think is gold. Then whenever I am opening this before writing something, I can look for all my gold ideas, and then I don't have to flip through everything and be disorganized. So on that weekly review that you do Sunday, and keep in mind this only takes like 5 to 10 minutes at most, you would want to just highlight what you think is a good idea and what you might want to use later. Then you use this to end the blank page. End at that moment where you're just staring at the blank page for forever. Like, if you ever catch yourself not being able to write or think of any idea, or just you're stuck in procrastination and writer's block, pull out this journal and search for your ideas. Now, a common concern that pops up with this is, what if I start using this and I don't think of ideas at the rate at which I need? And I think you just haven't tried it yet. Because to be honest, ever since I've been using this, I've been coming up with at least 3 ideas per day. And if you struggle with that, let me give you one more tip that can help you come up with these ideas that you can use for your writing. So, any moment throughout your day that is funny, interesting, or just unordinary and weird, you want to write that down in there. Because there is always a moment in our day-to-day life which is odd. That's why we live and enjoy our life, because everything is unpredictable and there's so many things that happen throughout the day that can throw us off. But then we could turn that memory into a beautiful story or a comedy show, whatever. Just take moments from your day-to-day life, write them down, and then hopefully that should inspire you to write whatever you're writing. But otherwise, I would just keep putting your ideas and thoughts on there. And if you have a weird memory from the day, write that down. Just have that to be your book of ideas and inspiration. You don't have to directly copy that idea from the journal to the page, but you could feel inspired by it. Like, there's a moment in your day where you saw two people connecting very well and you're writing a story about a friendship. Maybe you could use that connection to inspire what you're going to write in your next chapter. Whatever. You have to be creative and you have to do this yourself. This is just the foundation to what you can grow into a very beautiful building. And so all I'm asking you to do is to go on Amazon or go to Walmart, Target, whatever, buy a little pocket journal. They're literally like $1, so you can even go to the dollar store, and that's all you need to start. I guess you also need a pencil, but that's it. Pencil, pocket journal, those are two things you can get at the dollar store, and you're set for a year, pretty much. Hope you enjoyed, and if you like this, I'm sure you'll like this as well, and as always, subscribe.